Hey, welcome to your day off. My name is Corey, and of course, sitting with my best bud, Tone. What's up, man?
What's going on, brother?
So today's like a satisfying day, I think is the best way to say it.
Yeah, we finally have this guest on.
Yep.
We've been trying to get her on for a long time.
I mean, literally since day one. When we sat down and we did a like who's on our dream list, like who would be like awesome to talk to, and our guest today was on from the very first day of the podcast. She was on our list.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get onto the subject too, where we're this huge power women movement, and it's really beautiful to watch. You know what I mean? Women taking things over and by their own hands, right? Like, and she's a big part of this.
100%. I mean, we'll get into it, but yeah. So our guest today is Leah Freeman. She is. Oh crap! What's her title? She's with Alonzo. She'll give it to us. But yeah, like she's literally been on our list since day one.
She's the global creative healing director.
Dude, you nailed that. Leah's giving you high fives now.
We do fist bumps.
We do fist bumps. Boom, boom. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, she broke my hand with that horse.
she's got a Godfather horse on her finger.
Yeah.
Should we jump in?
Yeah.
Let's just get in. So, Ms. Leah Freeman, welcome to your day off.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here finally.
I know, right?
Yeah, no, it's been over a year. So for sure, like I know we've been trying to get together, and it's an honor to be a part of what you guys are doing and creating. And I'm just excited about joining this whole team. So
we appreciate you so much, and we really appreciate everything that you do for the industry.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
and what you're doing too. I mean, this is awesome.
Awesome. So,
yes.
Where did you grow up? Where are you from?
So I'm born and raised in the south suburbs of Chicago. I still actually I still reside there, but it's more or less. I was from Flossmoor, moved around a little bit. Now I live in Peatone with my husband and my 5-year-old little girl who just went to school for the first day on Friday. So I need therapy. So yeah, I mean, talk about devastating. I was hoping she was going to hold my leg. Instead, she like ran into the door and she was like, "Bye, lady. Nice knowing you." It was devastating.
I'll see you at 18.
I know, right? I'm like, what just happened? Like, you need me. Reside in Peatone, but it's pretty much spent my whole life here in the Windy City, cold winter.
I hear the winters are brutal.
Yes.
I mean, we were there in like a March, dude, and it was like the coldest I think I'd ever been.
It's all ABS.
We actually did the alternative show there at the Chicago Theater.
Horrifically cold. I don't know what happened, but it's really cold. And Chicago's super cold because you get all that like side wind from Lake Michigan. So yeah.
We were just there last weekend.
Yeah. Probably nice then.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's been warm.
Great. Yeah, it was fantastic. And we saw the air show, right?
Yep.
By accident.
You and a million of your closest friends.
Well, we didn't stand for it. We were just like, well, when you're in the city, you can just see it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't know if anyone paid for it or not.
We were actually on the architectural boat tour.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. During the air show, we're like, who cares about architecture?
Yeah.
There's the plane.
There's a stealth bomber ahead of me. So anyway.
Makes you nervous at first, right?
A little bit. You're like, are we? Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And me is Chicago, so you never know.
Exactly.
So
that's hilarious. So tell us your hair story. Like, how'd you get into the industry, or how to find you, or are you one that was saved?
I was totally saved. So I had an eyebrow and a mustache till I was about 18. So I was never like into the beauty side ever, obviously. So when I was about 18. Yeah, I was going to go to college, and my mom saw me struggling big time, and she was like, "Hey, go to trade school." At that time, like you needed insurance, and the way you got insurance was based on if you went to either college or if your parents had insurance. So my dad's like, you either have to go to school or something. And I thought, well, I want to be like backpack through Europe. Like I was 18. I mean, I don't even own a backpack. So,
and if she does, it's a Louis one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not an outdoors girl at all. So here I am. I'm like talking to my dad about it. And my dad's like, you got to go to school. There's just no option. So my mom talked me into going to trade school. So I went to beauty school completely on a whim. And I ended up liking it. And I met this woman named Vivian Dramato who owned a salon south of Tinley Park called Amato Hair Design. And she took me under her wing. And I met between her and my mentor, Jennifer Suarcheski, who I'm still really, really close with. Mm-hmm. And they basically took me from out of something and made me into something. I had nothing. I was like, I couldn't even do my own hair. I mean, like I said, I didn't even wear makeup till I was 19. So, they just took me under their wing and like gave no judgment.
But what do they see in you? I mean, like,
I don't even know. Good question. I don't even know what I see in myself. I don't know. I just think, I think Jen probably more than anything saw me as a challenge because I was so.
That's gonna be in my tombstone.
I know, right?
Leah, known as a challenge.
Known as a challenge. Imagine that. I mean, I think she just looked at me as like this person that she could maybe mold into something. So I think I was maybe her first project or something. And I think I was just more or less like everybody just gave into her so easy and I didn't. So I think I made it a bit of a struggle and she tried harder because of that. And she turned my leaf. So within that year, I became one of the top book stylists in our salon. Like I was doing really, really well within a year. And I found myself like being this amazing salesperson, which I never thought I could sell anything. And then I turned around and got offered a position with L'Oreal.
What's that timeline?
So my first job was with Redken when I was 19 years old. 19 going on 20.
Right.
And I started doing classes with them and they took me on an amazing journey for about 15 years. I ended up leaving the salon and opening my own salon and pursuing a dream of my own with my parents. And that was
You opened a salon with your parents?
I did. Yeah,
But before that, I mean,
Yeah.
as before the L'Oreal, you said what
Yeah.
that timeline was, and you were going to these classes. Did it come natural, easy, or did you like stay overtime? Did you put extra time? Did you work harder than the next guy?
It's funny you say that because people are like, oh my gosh, like, this is so cool. Like, how'd you get up here? And I'm like, I gave away tons of hours of my personal life. I mean, I would go with sales consultants into salons, like trying to like just get comfortable with me and like the stage and facilitating. I mean, it took me a long time. Like it was definitely not handed to me and it definitely wasn't easy. Things that people do not know about me is I'm super dyslexic. So I struggled in school my whole entire life. So to think I'm even a teacher today is like groundbreaking. I mean, I think my mom and dad thought I would live at home forever. I think my dad was like, God bless, she got a job. Like she can pay her own bills. So, for me, it was such a struggle. So to find something that I could do and do it well was like, I mean, it was a blessing. I mean, honestly, it was.
But how long did it take before you knew you did it well?
I mean, I don't know if I still feel like I do it well. Like I walked off stage even today. It's like I always question my job, and I think I always thought that was a bad thing. And I was dealing with this like empowerment coach, and she said, it's no longer safe to drive when you're no longer scared to drive. And I took that and I'm like, it's a good feeling because every time I get on stage, I'm semi-nervous. And I think it gives me that point of like humility and understanding that I could always still grow. And the minute I feel too comfortable, I don't belong there anymore. So I don't know if I really feel that comfortable still. So to say that I know I'm good at my job, I mean, I think I have something to bring to this industry, but to showcase like self-worth, I mean, I don't know.
It's weird.
It's awkward.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, no doubt. So, do you still have a relationship with your parents after opening a salon with them?
I do. Unfortunately, I lost my mom 2 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was really suddenly. Yeah, it was real sudden. So, but my dad and I are like the best and closest we've ever been. My husband I have the most amazing husband. His name is Adam. Like, I can't even, I owe somebody something for that later in life, I'm sure. So, he's just a really, really good dude. Always has been so supportive of my career and my salon, even during the roughest times. And, we've been in business. My dad and I have been in business now. This will be our, if I say the 16th year, oh God.
Oh, so you're still in business with your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you opened the original salon with your parents, that was the salon that you're currently in? Oh, okay. Yeah. I misunderstood that. I thought
I didn't tell you. So we opened a salon together and we've been in business ever since. And my mom was probably my biggest cheerleader. And as much as we struggled in this industry, I mean, I struggled owning a salon for a long time. Like, I had this amazing career on the road. I was killing it. I mean, I was booked on the road, but at home we were in bankruptcy. Like, we were bankrupt. And my dad and mom supported every step of my career to make sure that we wouldn't lose our business because we employed people that were really dedicated to our salon. Like, as you know, so many salons are not doing well. And so, I don't know. It's kind of a weird and sad story. I don't want to make it sad, but I kind of feel like my mom.
No, just go, man.
I kind of feel like my mom like stuck it out till when she knew we were finally good, and then she knew she could, pass away. And so when she did,
You're good.
finally good. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
I don't ever cry, so don't make me cry. Look at me. I'm a hard person.
Right.
Look at me.
Yeah, those
So,
tears on your face.
I
show
know,
you how
I know.
hard
I'm
you
like, I
are.
know. Look at my horse.
That's right.
Anyway, so yeah, it's been a rough couple of years. So
I
Yeah.
can't imagine.
yeah,
You and your dad super close?
we are. And it's because my mom. I think if my mom was like, I don't know, it's such a crazy, weird,
Right.
yeah. Anyway, and she was a hairdresser too, which is kind of cool.
Oh, get
too.
out,
So,
really?
yeah.
So when she said pick a trade, she said pick my trade. It's
No, I picked the trade first, and then she went to school after.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
yeah. Oh, thank you.
Take
Thanks.
the top one off. Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. We have a friend named Megan Lorson, and same kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Tariq.
Yep, Tyreek. Him and his mom went to school together.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine 18-year-old self, you going to school with your
Oh my
dad?
God, I was such an asshole when I was 18. God. My dad would tell you, he'd be like, and we don't sit in the same room when I was 18. Yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, I look back now and think, God, some of the things I used to do, how stupid. I'm glad to be alive. That's all I got to say.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So are we.
So let's move on to more positive things. So
Right.
yeah. So the
Well,
positive. So the positive part is that my mom passed away, and it was as devastating as it was. She left my dad and I in a really good position to be even closer than we've ever been. So because of that, I think our salon's been super strong. I've got an amazing staff that stuck through all of that too. I mean, they had to go through what we went through, and I mean, it's crazy. Our industry is definitely a different industry than most. So.
I mean, it definitely is. I mean, I don't know how many industries, aside from like the people that you can reach and that you can touch. I mean, how many industries where almost anybody can be a business owner,
Yeah.
right? And our industry also allows for that. Whether you're an independent or whether you have a big salon with a big spa and stuff with you guys, like you guys have.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't imagine doing it. I couldn't imagine having a staff.
And it's like an adult daycare, I like to call it. Sometimes I'm like, we don't
Hope your
own a
staff
salon.
doesn't hear this.
We have an adult daycare. No, they know I love them. They're good. We have the best staff right now. We have the best staff we've ever had. So
How do you go ahead?
I would say there was rumors that you were close to an Olympian ice skater.
What?
How did you know that?
I'm just saying. I just heard.
I wasn't an Olympian, but I was actually, yes. So I actually figure skated. Like, this is so ungirl-like. So I figure skated for 13 years, and I was almost 16. Well, no, at the first time I got asked, I was 12, and I got asked to be like co-sponsored and coached by an outside coach outside of Canada, and my mom would have to let me move there if that was an option for me to like start training for the Olympics, because you train kids in the Olympics. Like, you don't start training at 15, 16 years old. You're usually 11, 12, or 13. And my mom said no. Yeah, she said absolutely not. So she kept me home, and it actually put a little bit of a dent in our relationship, but I'm really lucky that she kept me back, because there's no way I'd be who I am today if I didn't have her through my whole entire adolescent years, because I think I might have been slightly, who knows? God only knows. Canada. I can't even imagine.
Like a
But
Tanya Harding or
yeah,
something.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, there's a good one with a freaking bat in my hand. But so I ended up resigning and staying back in Illinois, and I kept it up for about 2 more years, and then I decided to no longer figure skate. I wanted to get a driver's license and drive and get a job and do all the things that 16-year-olds were doing, not going to the ice rink at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. every morning in high school. So that is so funny. You know that.
That's my job.
That's the girly side of me no one knows about. Yeah.
We have a crack team here.
I know, right?
Wait a second. How were you a figure skater and you never wore makeup till you were 19?
I know. I had an eyebrow, one solid eyebrow that went from left to right with the center all the way filled in. I remember the very first time I was like I shouldn't even tell you this.
No, go ahead.
I was like 14, 15 years old. I'm sitting next to this guy in class. He's like, and I'm like twirling the side of my lip. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "You got a mustache?" And I'm like, "No." My mama called me this peach fuzz. And it was a mustache. So, God, how embarrassing.
Oh my God. Did you want to punch him in the face?
I know. No. And I mean, I was so timid at that time. Like, you look at me now, I was like this hard, thick skinned person. I was like the kindest human, like super timid. Like you could scare me off of anything. I was like, so I would never defend myself. I would just sit there and take the abuse for so long. So I think that's like one of my things now, being where I am in the position. Like I love you for saying about the thing about like the future is female type of thing for me, because I don't know. I think over the years I've gotten really thick skin. And I think the one thing that I've really driven towards is like totally being an anti-bully. Like I realized like I was bullied my whole entire life and never being thin enough, never being cute enough, never being pretty enough, never dateable. Like I didn't date my first guy till I was 19. And I just think
It's because you started wearing makeup.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Anti-feminist.
Because I actually waxed my eyebrows when I was 19. But you know, I think going through all that was like a big movement for me. So I don't know. So I think like hearing you say that, it's like a really commending thing. Cause I think, I don't know. I think I'm trying to create a voice for other people too, you know?
Yeah, I have a daughter, and you know, I push her, and you know, I tell her she can do anything she puts her mind to do.
You're damn right.
Nothing that she can't do.
If I can do what I do, anybody can do what they do. Because I mean, I was a lower 7% of my high school class, graduating class. I didn't even graduate high school on time. Like I remember telling my mom I couldn't walk the stage. She was devastated. I was the only child, you know, and here
God.
I couldn't even walk the graduating stage with my class. I ended up getting my diploma in the summer. And I just think if I can be where I am, you could be anywhere, you know.
That's
Opportunity
awesome.
is for everybody. You just have to find the road to walk down. That's what it walks down to.
So crazy. Just the more and more we hear it, the more unbelievable it sounds. It's just like how our industry is just open to. Even Robert Cromings, I thought, says it the most perfect. Like we're the career for the misfits, you know, and it's just so true. And but again, the more you hear it, the more almost unbelievable it is. You
It's
know?
true.
It's so weird.
No.
And the opportunity that our industry provides is I mean, it's you limit yourself. You know,
completely.
As high as you can see, it's probably as high as you're going to get. You know what I mean? But if you just take that ceiling off and just, you know, set your goals higher, I mean, there's nothing that you can't achieve.
It's
In
true.
this industry.
You know?
Yeah.
It's so true. I mean, there's so many venues, whether it's education, management, owning a salon. Like I could go on and on. It's like there's every single
Podcast.
road. Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly. No, totally. It's like you could be like I was talking to Chris Barron today. I was talking to Chris Barron today, and we were saying how there's artists, and then there's Insta famous, and then there's artists that are Insta famous. You now have categories of people that do education. Before it was just artists. So there's so many different avenues you can go down, just deciding what you want to do. So
We had a very similar conversation to that today as well. I mean, whatever, but it was like there's some of the artists like that have no like Instagram like presence, but are just absolutely killers. You know, like if you go look at like Trevor Sorby's page, who to us is like the god.
Iconic. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, and you know he has like 500 followers.
Yeah.
You know, and you know those are like his best friends and former employees. You know, and like it's interesting to me, I guess, as great of an artist that he is, and he doesn't have that presence. But you know, why would he want it?
Yeah,
You know,
he
really.
doesn't seek it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool though. But then but in today's world, like how do you, if you want any kind of presence in the industry outside of your own salon, how do you do it without it? You know?
Yeah, but the presence, I mean, there's, for me, you know, there's the people that, you know, want to reach many, and then there's those that just want to reach those that are close, you know, around them. They can reach, they can actually touch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And to me, that's what Trevor was, right? I mean, he just brought, like you said, you had your mentor, right? Brought you in and challenged you. Because I was reading something about you that, like, you're a firm believer in mentoring, you know? And in mentoring, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have 400,000 followers.
No, probably doesn't mean that actually.
Right.
You know?
Well, I had an opportunity like years and years ago to go to this event in Piatone where I actually reside at, and a guy by the name of Tom Dreesen spoke there, and he spoke about he was the opening act for Frank Sinatra for like 20 years. super amazing comedian, totally funny, awesome. He talks about this moment being with Frank Sinatra on his very last days of his life. And Frank Sinatra was leaving the Stardust Hotel, and this waitress walks up to him, and she is just obsessed with him. And she's like, my husband loves you. Oh my gosh, to meet you. And this is like back in the day, right? So Stardust was like still up and running. It was popular, right? So she comes running up to him, Mr. Sinatra, oh my gosh, can I get an autograph? And she proceeds to tell Frank Sinatra that her husband's been really sick and that he's obsessed with him. And in the same conversation, she goes, I love your cufflinks, Mr. Sinatra. He takes them off and gives them to her. And they were Cartier cufflinks.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine? She's a waitress at the Stardust. She's never made $100,000 probably in her life.
Right.
And here this man's giving her like $300,000 cufflinks. So he gets in the car and Tom Dreesen is talking to Frank and he goes, I can't believe you gave that complete stranger your cufflinks. And he was like, if you possess a gift and you can't give that gift away, that gift will possess you.
Whoa.
And when I heard that, I thought, you're a total jerk if you know something and you can't help somebody else grow. Like our jobs are to continue to help people grow. I don't care if they grow past you. But you can't sit here knowing something and not tell someone else. It's not right. It's not okay. If it only resides in you, then like people, I can't believe you gave your secrets away. They ain't secrets. Well, I mean, secrets are something. Secrets are in your bedroom. I mean, we're talking about hairdressing. I'm sorry, and people give those away too. I'm just saying, and that's a different podcast, by the way. But it's like there's just so much opportunity out there, and I think when I heard him say that, I was like, this is where I knew my avenue was the gift of giving away the secret. So
that is fantastic. I just got the chills when you
I kind of
said
did
that.
too.
Yeah.
If you possess a gift and you can't give that gift away, that gift will possess you.
And it's
It's
so
an amazing
well stated.
thing.
Yeah.
The gift possessing you is like the exclamation on it.
It
right?
is, yeah.
Dude, that's really good.
Is Matt Sweeney better still?
Oh, nah, we
I'm just
in
kidding.
love with Leah.
Yeah, for
I
real.
love me some Matt though. I gotta tell you, you want to talk about another blessing in my life? Matt Sweeney he has changed my life for sure.
Who was
made-
with Lonza first?
Matt was. So Matt was the very first artist with the company, like when David bought it. We have another artist who's been with the company actually longer. But her name's Glenda. She's an amazing woman, and she's actually still with us. But Matt is our longest standing artist. And then Ammon came next in the director's position, and then I was hired third.
So we haven't gotten to that story.
I know.
Oh,
We're here.
That's
Let's
a
do
good
it.
one.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right. So we're only up to where you said L'Oreal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden we're chasing this avenue over here.
The squirrel.
Yeah.
But, so pick up from L'Oreal.
Yeah. So actually, even before L'Oreal, I actually tried out for Rusk first. And it didn't work out. And then I had an opportunity from a sales consultant and said that L'Oreal was hiring. So I ended up going to a tryout with L'Oreal. And I got hired to be a Redken artist. And my day from being into education changed that day. So I started doing education within the Redken umbrella. And I took that career path for about 5 or 6 years, pretty strong. And then I realized I wanted to go down a different venue. And I wanted to do more. So I started, really, really like volunteering for shows and like making sure because at that time, like Instagram and Facebook, I mean, MySpace wasn't even available at that time. God, I just totally aged myself. Oh my God.
Pre-MySpace.
Just, there was something before MySpace for everyone out there. And so I end up, like just going on ride-alongs with sales consultants and like going into salons. I would do anything, do shows. I would do anything just to kind of like get myself more involved. And Chris Orby actually picked me up to do a photo shoot in New York. It was so ironic. I think I was available and she really liked me. I assisted a show with her. So I ended up flying out to New York and my career just took off from there. And she's a woman that saw a gift in me. So I started then working at the Exchange in New York City. Did that for almost, at that time, probably 8 or 9 years. Still continue with Redken, did the symposium, did a lot of great shows, had the chance to work with amazing artists, Lori Zabel, George Garcia, Chris Barron, Sam Villa, all these amazing people. and just saw my career like kind of plateau. I mean, I was booked, and I was doing really well, but I was like running in a hamster wheel, like just in the same circle. So
how long do you think you were in that wheel before you kind of noticed it, or did you kind of always kind of notice that it was happening?
I've kind of always, I shouldn't say I always noticed it. I just think I hit a place where I was going to the airport on Saturday, coming home on Monday, going to the airport on Saturday, coming home on Monday.
Right.
I just felt like the challenge wasn't there anymore. And they offered me some other stuff, and I looked at different venues there. I mean, they were great. Like, I have nothing negative to say. It was a really, really great span in my career. And I was sitting in the Kansas City airport doing a program, and I was getting ready to go home, and I got an inbox from this guy named Andy Meeson. And he was like, hey, I work for this company called Lanza, and we're looking for a color director. And I was like, Lanza? What is Lanza? So I called him up, and I'd worked with him before, and he had just said had his eye on me for a while, and thought I'd be a good fit for the brand. Mm-hmm. So I ended up talking to David Berglass, and it was everything there. And David Berglass was like my dad on the phone. He was like the most caring. I just fell in love with him. He was just such a good dude, like all the way to his heart. And I called my husband. I'm like, you're going to think I'm nuts, but I think I'm going to go with this Lanza company. I think they're cool people. They were independent. They were small. I was independent and small. Mm-hmm. And I love the whole small business, go with small business situation. And I had a really good run with a big business, and I wanted to go to something smaller. So I decided to take the leap of faith and sign, and became a Lanza artist. And it'll be my 5-year anniversary in January.
What has it really been 5 years?
It'll be 5 years. I can't even believe it.
Did your hubby have a input when you said, hey, I'm thinking about this?
I mean, that's so cute. No.
Right.
No.
No discussion.
No.
Honey, this is what I'm doing, okay?
It's going down like this.
I'm going to cut my hair. You're not. No, you're not.
Right.
No, I am. I'm that thick girl for sure. So yeah. So I end up talking to David, and he said something to me again, another stoic moment in my life. He's like, L'Oreal has got a great company. They've built amazing bridges. They've got great roads. He's like, I'm looking to build a bridge and a road. So either you want to walk across something that's already been built, it's amazing, or if you want to help me build a bridge, I'd love your help. And I thought I could help build bridges. I think that'd be kind of cool. So
well, it's been amazing because in the last 5 years, it's gone from Lanza to Lanza.
It's now Lanza, yeah.
Right.
It's always been Lanza, but when you don't know the brand, people call it Lanza. It's
yeah.
All the time.
like when people are like, you work for that Redken? I'm like, it's Redken.
Right.
Don't call it Redken.
Redken and Lanza.
I know, it's Lanza. So funny. So
yeah, now, I mean, their presence is everywhere now.
yeah, we've worked tirelessly to do it. Like I work with a really, really great team. It's not just Matt and Ammon and myself. We have Scott Sieper, there's Brandy Heater, David Berglass. We have a team of artists, people in the office, KJ and Louisa and Claudia and Michael. I mean, there's so many people I can tell you that have helped build this bridge. We have faces that you see all the time, but there is a plethora of people that make our faces noticeable. So it does not take a team of 3. It takes a team of a lot to make us turn.
I mean, as a small brand, how do you build it? How do you build a small brand?
Yeah.
Like, how do you guys do that? And again, you guys are so relevant in the space now. Like,
well, I mean, first of all, I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. I think more or less it's about culture. I think the thing that we've noticed about this industry is the loss of humility and bringing back human touch. So right now we're on this big mission of think, and it's like, think about if you didn't have a keyboard to write a bad review about a restaurant, would you do it? Like, would you actually go to the owner that, kids, school and their housing and their clothes are all depends on if they make rent that night? Would you say you really suck at your job? Like when you put presence of people behind, business, I think that's what we've been trying to do, is like bring back like calling people versus texting, writing a letter versus sending an email. Like, we're trying to bring back the feeling of touch back to our industry. So I think the thing that we're doing a little bit different is bringing back, that stop with just the media and start actually going after like people and recognizing like they're noticing people's commitment, like really validating commitment.
Right.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you guys are if I receive a letter instead of an email, to me, you put more effort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by putting more, because it's easy to take the easy route now, email ping.
Yep.
But taking the effort and the time out to actually send me a letter is much more personable, right? It's just, there's a lot more meaning to it.
It's not a copy and paste.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, totally. And we're not a copy and paste brand. And I think that's the thing with David. I mean, David's so big on us being committed to like 24-hour agreements, 24-second agreements, or 24-minute agreements, where if you call me, text me, I have to get back to you. If I go into a class, like he wants a response out of us. Like there's not a, we just go into big salons or we go into every salon. Like we notice everybody. Like we're trying to be the brand that like recognizes everyone right now. So, and I think that's when we've been getting a little bit more of notice, I should say, or, you know, people buy people and then people buy product. That's just the reality of it. So
That's true. I mean, you know, even we're living proof of it, that it's the only way that we've built this is through the relationships that we have or that we've built. You know, like without those relationships, you know, you're grasping at air.
I mean, I want you to think about the last time I talked to you and you reached out to me, Corey. Like, I knew who you were immediately, like by the fact that we had a relationship in the past. Like you've always been a kind person. So for me not to do for you, because you've always done for me. So it's like when you create.
Now I'm going to cry. Can I have that tissue?
I know, right? Let me give you the one off the floor. When you create good relationships, people remember that. Like people remember good relationships. They do. They remember bad ones too. That's the unfortunate part. But like you want to create good relationships. You really do.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now
Well, I'm glad I have a relationship now.
I know. I know. You're like, yeah, you're my fist bumper.
Yeah.
fist bumper. Tony's going to go out skating with you.
I'll kill you on the ice.
I'll kill myself on the ice.
I'm like,
Right.
just, you know, I was landing like doubles and singles. Like it was crazy. I gotta think back now. I'm like, I was crazy back then. Anyway.
I think I'll step on it. I'm going to split my head up. You're going to be helping me up.
You'd be surprised when people fall on the ice, not to get off subject. People think the ice is really hard. It's not. It's actually it's actually very forgiving. That's when you see skaters hit the ice so hard, people feel so bad for them, which you should. It does hurt, but it's not what people think. I'm like, it's not like concrete or like ice you see outside. There's a difference to it. There's a forgiveness to it. If you're like in a rink, but
It's like a wrestling match,
Anyway.
like a mat.
yeah.
Like a wrestling mat.
It seems- Anyway, I don't even know why I went there, but go ahead.
Because you saw me laying on the ice.
I know I did. I'm like, oh, this poor man.
Right.
That's awesome. Leah, so like, how is it like standing like head to head with like Maddie and Ammon?
Yeah. So it's funny because, you know, we make jokes of it about the hot sandwich that I sit in all the time. It's like this hot manwich, you know, it's.
You definitely made me laugh with it on stage last
God,
night.
it's so annoying because, you know, it's like, no disrespect. I mean, I love me some men. Don't get me wrong. But it's funny because I always say 2 men can walk on stage and people will look at them and be like, oh my God, what do you think they're going to say? You know, and then I'll walk out there like, what do you think she's going to say? There's just a different like sense when you walk out there. So my earning the right is so much harder than they have to do. They can walk out and be hot and everyone loves them. I walk out and they're like,
You better be good.
she better be real good, right? So I think the thing is with that situation is I walk out knowing I'm so supported by the 2 of them that it makes my job easier. I think if I had to disconnect with them, it would be a lot harder. So for me to say I walk out there with this like sense of confidence, like I'm some like, it's not that. I walk out there knowing I can be confident because I have 2 people that stand next to me that are more confident than I am in me.
Like the boys got your back.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm telling you, I've seen...
Yeah, go ahead.
I can give you an example. Matt
Yeah,
and I and Ammon were at a show once, and this guy disrespected me on stage.
Wait, he was on stage?
Matt and I and Ammon were on stage, and this guy disrespected me big time on
Like
stage.
he was in the audience? Or
No, he was on another stage.
Oh.
And Matt walked up to me. He's like, babe, just give me a second. And he walked off, and he walked over to that stage, and he came unglued. And that is the day I fell in love with Matt Swinney. I was like, this man cares about me more than I ever could have ever thought.
So did that other guy pee on stage?
I know. Right? It was like, I'm telling you, like Matt is not a man to mess with. And Ammon was like standing behind him. I'm like, oh my God, shit just got real. It just got real. And Matt got on stage. He's like, you want to learn something? He's like, you need to listen to her. And people just turned and paid attention. And I was like, So anyway, about 40 volume. I don't know what to say about 40 volume anymore. I think I'm going to drink it because I think I need a drink. It was so crazy, but it was a day, I think, for all of us that was a day I think we solidified our friendship. It was like my first year with the team. So, it's like the growing pains. We had growing pains, but that was a moment. I know those boys love me more than they're like my brothers. They are.
And maybe you don't, maybe you don't get the perspective with Sweeney's on stage, but he's a big fella.
Oh yeah, he got a strong handshake. I remember I walking, hey Matt, and he's squeezing my hand. I'm like, hey Matt, like my voice just went up a little bit. I was like, ow,
you should see Matt. Matt's son is bigger than Matt.
Yeah, he told us.
Bastion's big. Like he's a big boy. Like it's funny. Like they stand next to each other, and I'm like, your son's a good foot taller than you are, so you now currently have little man syndrome. So yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
So you guys got a nice crew.
We do.
Tight family.
We're good. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that I'm in this situation, but I would have never, ever thought in a million years I'd work with my two best friends. I mean, they're just really good dudes. They are. I mean, me and Matt became closer. Like me and Ammon automatically were good friends. Like I think we came from the same world. Like he was really a good guy to walk my path with in the beginning. And me and Matt did not see eye to eye. Like he's a grass walker. I hate the grass. So it's like, he wants to sit outside. I hate the outdoors. It was like all these things. And once I learned his isms, he learned my isms. It's like now we're like, the best of friends. But we're just a really good triangle. It's a good triangle. So
that's awesome.
That.
Yeah.
It's just even nice to be able to call it a triangle, right? Like again, back to like just that support that we have.
Yeah.
That you guys, and it's very clear. Like watching you guys last night, it's very clear that you guys are one. Like you see some artists on stage with each other, and you're like, oh, they're on stage together, but they're not on stage together.
Yeah.
And that's very obvious when you guys are together as well.
I have a funny thing. So last night Matt won. He won the one shot for Avant-Garde. So he turned and he kissed me, but the way he kissed me was like on the side of my face. But whoever videoed it, it looked like we had a moment. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this is the reason why people think you're my wife. And I love his wife too. But it's just so funny. It was like, oh my God, you kidding me right now? And there's like on social media, I'm like, oh, there it goes.
There it goes.
There goes the affair that we're having.
There goes all the divorce papers.
I know, right. No, it's a good thing his wife and my husband, we have a great relationship. So
that's
anyway.
Cool. So I want to talk about your other husband if we can.
Yeah.
Apparently he's a badass car painter. Is this true?
God. It is actually really true. I like I said, my husband's badass in general, but like,
and by the way,
human,
he's not a grass walker and he's not an outdoors guy.
He's not. He's from Wisconsin, of course he is, but he's gotten to my isms too. I've made him a hotel guy. He gets a hotel thing now, but so my husband owns a paint shop south of Chicago called The Refinery. He paints super, super high-end cars, and he's had the opportunity to paint a car for the Ingram family, which is they own a very, very rare Porsche collection. And about 2.5 weeks ago, the Porsche that he painted made podium, and they won first place at Pebble Beach at Monterey Beach. It was like a huge,
which is like the biggest hair show. Biggest car show in the country. For that kind of
prestigious
stuff, right?
cars. Yeah, for sure. So I got the first text. It's like, holy shit, we made podium. And the second text was like, oh my God, we won. And no more deserving than this team of people. Like it took a team of people to do it. My husband was just not the only guy to do it, obviously, but yeah, he's pretty amazing.
Wow.
And he takes care of me. So I mean, anybody who could take care of all this is a blessing in its own. Matt will tell you.
And he's taking care of your little one.
My little one when I'm gone. So he's super supportive. I'm really, really fortunate. So. And that's part of being on the road, as everyone knows. Like you have to have good support at home. It just doesn't work. You can see it in people's eyes when they don't have the support at home. So
I literally I watch your feeds and I watch you. As you know, we talk quite a bit. But,
yeah.
I don't know how you do it, man.
I don't either sometimes.
I don't. And what's amazing, and it could be like the lies of Instagram, but you seem very compartmentalized and like you're 100% in whatever you're doing.
Always. I've been like that my whole life, though.
How do you, I guess, you don't have a secret to it. You have that switch.
Yeah. I just think like when I'm home, I'm home. When I'm on the road, I'm on the road. Like when I'm a wife, I'm a wife. I'm a mom, I'm a mom. Like I don't take this wrong coming from a woman, but I just think that we're really good at doing that. Like I think we're just really good at being able to have all those what would you call them? Compartments? I don't know what you call them.
compartmentalized.
I don't know. That's a way.
That's a new
bigger-
word.
That's a new word. I couldn't even spell. But I think the thing is like I'm able to turn things on and off, and I think a lot of women can do that. I don't know if it's just women. I don't want to say that. Maybe it sounds wrong, but people that I know that work in the same field that we do, I feel like I tend to share that same
I mean,
thing.
Yeah, with my wife, I mean, I couldn't do half of what she does.
Yeah.
no.
I mean, she's got it going on too. I'm like, I don't know how you do it, but thank God. I mean, you know,
Even more than that, like I wish I could do half of what my
Yeah.
wife
It's
does.
like- I try.
funny. Do you ever eat dinner? You go out to dinner with your wife, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be sitting at the table talking to her, and she knows what's going on behind her. Where you're like, "What are you talking about?" You're like, "Oh my God, these people behind us,
Yeah.
they are freaking furious at each other. This guy's having an affair." And this whole time, you've talked about numbers and stats. I can tell you all about it. Cars, whatever,
Right.
undercarriages, whatever all that shit is. And I'm like, but this guy behind me, he is balls to the wall. He's sleeping around right now. She just told him, you know. And my husband's like, "How'd you hear that?" I'm like, "Oh, and this girl over here, you should see what she's saying." I'm like, it's just, I think we're really good at like, you know, touching every area of the room. So
I wonder what that. I mean, like biologically, what's that about?
I don't
you
know. It's the compartments of your brain. I don't know.
Yeah, it's my wife is definitely that way, and like
Just smarter,
Or nosier. I don't
Right.
know. Oh, it's smart.
more alert.
yeah.
We're just like
Yeah. All right.
What are we, hunter gatherers?
Football.
Right? We're just
Yeah.
we just think about one thing at a time, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
They hear everything.
That's it. But which is funny though, because that's almost the opposite of what I just said, right? Like you're 100% in, but like it's just the way-
No, I think perception to you is I'm 100% in, which I am, but I think I also have the ability to kind of being able to
Shift
be,
quickly.
yeah, you have to be able to though. I think we all do it. I just think it's easier said than done when you're watching somebody from the outside versus when you're on the inside. Like I can tell you all the things I do wrong and think that you see, but you don't even notice. Like I don't even look at myself as being someone who's 100% in tuned. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, if you knew how far behind I was on laundry right now, you'd die. You know, but it's funny how people have this perception of you because how you put yourself out there. I mean, I don't have a lot of drama, to be honest. So like I don't put drama out there. So for me, I think, and I appreciate you saying that, I do believe I am good at really one thing in my life is I'm always 100. If I like something, I'm 100% devoted to it. Except for going to the gym.
well, you don't like it.
I wish I did.
I was going to say, thank God you like your daughter, right?
I know, right? I love her.
100%.
That's a good bean right there. Lyric is a good bean.
Dude, and she is adorable. It's adorable.
Thanks. Yeah, she's
man.
funny. She is so funny.
She got a little sass.
Oh my God.
She got a little Leah sass.
She's got yeah. And it's funny too because she's got this like really like, I don't know what the look is, but people always think I'm mad. I'm not mad. I just don't smile a lot. I'm not an epic smiler. I never have been. So people are like, "Oh, are you mad?" Or "I thought you were mean." I'm like, I'm the nicest human you'll ever meet. I swear to God, sometimes. But it's funny because Lyric will be smiling, running around. They're like, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful. She looks just like your husband." And the minute she becomes wicked, they're like, "She looks just like you, Leah." Oh my God. Yeah. I'm like, thanks for the compliment. Not, you know. And I just want everybody to know there's nothing worse when someone's like, "She looks just like your husband." And when you went through labor for 28 hours, I'm like, I swear I delivered her.
Yeah. My daughter's a little mini me too.
I love
no
it.
doubt.
It is cute though. I mean, I love the fact that she looks like my husband. It's cute.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I just love watching that kind of part of your life, and I enjoy that. So thanks for sharing it. I guess.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? That's pretty cool.
Anything else?
Dude, what's going on? Like, what's in your future? And
My future. So I actually finished up all my international work this year. I did about 7 over the seas trips this year. So I hit for me was my biggest year of travel. At the 6-month marker, I did about 100,000 miles this year in 6 months. So I really, really hit the miles hard this year, which was good. We did a lot of really good coverage this year with the company. My salon is growing epically. We're actually, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to tell you, and you guys are the first people to know, we're looking to open our second location.
yay!
And we are looking in
Fuse too.
Yeah, Fuse 2, but not in Illinois. So we're looking to do a destination location. I can't believe I'm even saying this out loud right now.
Wow.
So we're looking on a couple of different states to open up our second location as like a destination for our staff to be able to travel part-time and also have some staff there too. I can't believe I'm opening a second daycare. I love those girls. That's what I say, at least. No, I do. I really love them. And so we're looking at that right now. And then
That's exciting.
Yeah,
That is
I
exciting.
can't believe I'm even doing it. My career with Lanza's just skyrocketed. I love my job more than I've ever loved my job my whole entire life. And I just think it's not even so much my job. I think it's my job, it's my age, it's everything. I think I've just come into who I am finally, and and just comfortable in my own skin for the first time in a long time. So, which is really nice. My husband is continuing to grow with his business, which is great. Like I said, my daughter is now in school and she doesn't need us anymore. Which is so sad.
It is kind of sad.
It's
right?
so sad. Like she told my
She needs you.
husband, right. She needs us for lunch money, and a ride and a pickup from the school is what she needs us for. Outside of that, she's got her own people.
So are you going to do nails for one day in your salon?
Oh, here we go. You know way too much stuff about me. So I have this weird thing. I like doing nails. It's so weird. I do. I love doing nails. I don't know why. How do you know that?
You usually do acrylic on yourself, right?
I do. Oh my God. I do my own nails. That's so weird. I didn't do these though, but yes, I love doing nails. My mom did nails. So I don't know, like she just, from her doing it on me and then me doing it with her, and I just love it. I don't know. I'm an artist by trade. I can draw anything. So I think I just love sculpting nails is what it is.
So your daughter's going to have the best nails.
Yeah, right. She's got the best hair right now, for sure.
And 2 eyebrows.
Yeah,
Right.
she does have 2 eyebrows. She will have 2. She'll never have an eyebrow. I promise you that.
So what was the big change to where, just a few years ago, like Fuse, the business was kind of struggling. Now you're getting into, what was
Yeah.
the big shift? Like how did you go from like being in trouble, from your words?
I'm like
into,
talking like I borrowed $1.3 million from my parents in trouble.
whoa.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Carry
Yeah,
on.
it was big trouble. So we were in bankruptcy for 13 years. And my dad kept it afloat completely. I mean, I couldn't have done it. If it wasn't for my education career, I would have had nothing. I wouldn't have had a house. I couldn't turn the air on. Like I would have been like epically broke. So my dad
So
just
part of your
kept-
hustle was to keep dumping money.
I had
stay
to,
out of-
yeah. Like when people talk about, like, this is the thing about being a salon owner, and this is like the thing that I think I love about my staff so much is they know our hardship, but we also make sure that we take care of our staff. Like I think it's important that we recognize that there's nothing more important than people that come to work for you every day. And nothing drives me crazier when I hear people talk bad about their stylist, or I'll have a customer call and I'll hear like someone say, "Oh, can you believe my stylist did X, Y, and Z?" And I'm like, it is your job as a salon owner, if you want my opinion, to defend the people that work for you. If you think you're going to call my salon and talk shit about one of my staff members, I got news for you, girl. You haven't met mean. I can get mean. Like nobody woke up this morning thinking, you know what I was going to do today? I was going to screw your hair up. There's nothing more than I want to do than ruin your life. Nobody ever thinks like that. And the minute a consumer understands before they publicly blast you on Yelp, like I don't allow any of that behavior in my salon at all. So I think like for me, and like just from the business perspective and like being a salon owner, I think recognizing your staff in areas, and it's not so much like giving them stuff, it's just recognizing. I think recognizing the people that show up to work for you every single day, that are dedicated to your brand, that hashtag your salon, that tag you in pictures, they do it because they love you. And the minute you don't show them the same love, that's where the disconnect in our industry comes from. So for us, we were able to maintain the staff for so long, even though we were in bankruptcy, because we knew they came to work every single day. And it was our job to make sure they got paid. We didn't get paid, but they got paid. My dad took money out, took loans out to make sure the people that were dedicated to our business got paid. So the day we decided to close our salon, because we did close it, I was going to work for Lanza. I had already signed my contract. We had found a space that was 20 minutes north, and we sat down with our staff. 20 minutes, that's not close. We sat down with our staff and said, we can no longer be here. We have to close our salon. Make a long story short, I had a huge falling out with our landlord. It was super bad. We ended up closing our location, moving 20 minutes north. We sat down with our staff 30 days before Christmas to say we were going to close.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Exactly. But we had no choice. And we're like, you can come with or not. And they all came.
Wow.
And that is the reason why I believe your staff comes first and your guest comes second, always.
Well, speaking of guests, though, I mean, how'd you get your guests to go 20 minutes north?
So we did, ironically. So in the beginning, we were able to maintain a lot of our staff because we did really good hair. We did. We had great education. I'm telling you, I have one of the strongest teams in the country. I know I do. I mean, I might say that from a motherly side, like, my kid's the prettiest. Everyone says that, and you're like, you really think so? Because I'm going to tell you something different, But for me, I think giving my staff faith and going in knowing that we were going to be successful, we opened our doors. We closed our doors December 31st, opened them in a new location January 1st as a Lonza Healing Center. That was something else. My whole staff came. We made it very positive. We supported them throughout the whole entire thing. We took a business that was completely bankrupt. Within 4 years or within 4 months, we were actually in the black. Within 4 months, we were in the black. Now, mind you, did I pay off all that?
Right.
No, but we were in the black
But the
within
business
4
was running in the
months.
black.
Yeah, finally in the black within 4 months. And then we ended up moving our location to the permanent location, and we're now 5 years in, and we're killing it.
Wow.
That's incredible. So, I mean, what a big shift, right?
Oh my God. And that's what
And
I'm
like
saying.
you said, that was like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was 5 years. It was 5 years ago.
So from 5 years, from like $1 million in debt to
1.3 million. I'm just saying it's a lot of money. I mean, it's over $1 million.
If your dad was here, I'd give him the 3 credit.
I know,
or
I wish.
whatever.
Yeah, no, it's all
Right.
his credit. It wasn't for my parents. I'd have nothing. I'm telling you. That's why I'm so grateful for both of them.
I just can't even imagine. I adore my daughter and stuff, but at 1.3, I don't adore her with the same eyes anymore.
You'd be surprised. I think when it comes to your kids, it's like
I know, I'm just
it's like
kidding,
your
but-
dog. Yeah, no, it's like your dogs. It's like my dog can lick me, but your dog cannot.
Right.
When someone else's dog's licky, you're like,
Totally.
I think when it comes to your kids, it's crazy the things you'll do. I mean, if you're buying Hatchimals, you're crazy. I'm just saying. If you're buying miniature toys that can break open and they can lose them in 2 minutes for $7, you're crazy. So,
Do you have a dog?
I do. We have 2 dogs.
Do you get Dino'd every time you come home?
I know, right? We have a Burmese mountain dog who is insane.
They're ginormous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have a little Bichon Shih Tzu. So, yep.
So you get like the world's biggest dog.
And the
in
world's
You
smallest.
sound like him because he has a pug and a mastiff.
Yeah, see, yeah, you get it. A big and little.
Yep.
You need it.
And who runs the show? I'd make bets.
Go ahead.
The little one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The little one. He's like, he sits on the couch. My husband's like, get off the couch. And he just looks at him like, this is my couch.
He's like, you get off the couch.
Yeah, right. This isn't your house.
Actually, Tony, help me remember. I don't know if Chris Barron said it on air when we were talking to him or not. But how often do people say you look like Elvis Presley, or are you the lost daughter of?
Yeah. My God.
It's true though,
All
right?
the time. It's so funny because I fly out of O'Hare all the time, and everybody in TSA knows me because of that reason. Not because I fly all the time. They're like, that's that Elvis Presley girl, or they'll call me Priscilla, and I'm like, no, I don't look like Priscilla. Don't say that.
What year were you born?
77. I know.
Oh.
So anyway, here's the thing.
That was a sidestep, wasn't it?
So Lisa Marie is older than I am, but Elvis died in 77. He actually died right after I was born. So the thing that's ironic is I was actually in Memphis at his house visiting. I paid to enter. And this whole entire tour group comes up to me and they're like, oh my God, you're Elvis Presley's daughter. And I'm like, you think I would stand in that line outside in Memphis in the scorching hot, summer to see my daddy's house? No.
By the way, the same house you grew up in.
I know, right?
Right?
So, but I'll be sitting at the airport, schlepping my own bags, like, oh my God, it's Lisa Marie. And I'm like, no. Her life looks way different than mine. It's not in an Uber X, I can promise you that. So,
That's crazy, though.
I get it all the time.
That is funny.
It's
is
funny
pretty
because
funny.
I know a girl that does her hair, and I've wanted to meet her forever just to be like, okay, let me just see, because she's like, she talks like you, she looks like you, her mannerisms are the same, and I'm like, but our pocketbooks are not.
I think somebody should do a DNA test.
I mean, if that's the case, I'm going to start claiming.
Right.
You will not see me next year. Like, where did Leah go? It's like she's living in Hawaii.
23 and her daddy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That'd be funny. Yeah, I get it all the time. Did Chris Barron say that though? To you?
Totally.
Yeah.
Did he say it? I don't remember if he said it on the podcast or if we were like just chatting.
I think we're just chatting.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's such a good dude.
He's a gem of the industry.
Oh, he's a Papa Bear for sure.
Yeah,
he's
that's
amazing.
the best way, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he has mentored more people than you can imagine. That's a guy that gives his gift away. He is for sure. He's just completely selfless.
And I love the way that he talks. He kind of talks in almost like Michael Cole a little bit. Like he talks in like these short little like quips, and you just get it. You know, you're like, oh yeah, those words make sense. You know, those words in those order makes all the difference in the world.
Chris chooses his words. Like he doesn't use filler. Like I'm good at filling words. Like I'm great at creating filler, but like he chooses the words that he needs, and that is all you need. And that's it. You know, it's like you hit the crescendo and you're done. You know, where a lot of us like put a lot of filler words in to make it longer, where it's like, I could have said that same thing in 4 words, but I said it in 40, you know, so he's good at that.
I kind of wish Chris was here because I'd ask him, but do you think, is it purposeful for him, or is it just the way that he thinks about things, you think?
No, I think he's that good. I think he's just that good at telling his life. I think he's just that good.
There's a certain genius in that, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, he's a genius for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome. So if our listeners want to find you, or stalk Lyric or something, like where do they find you?
Well, they can definitely stalk Lyric because I do like to post pictures of her, just occasionally or every 3 days on my Instagram. So you can definitely follow me at Leah Freeman 1, or you can visit me on Facebook at Leah Freeman. And if you have any questions about myself or Lonza or whatever, please feel free to email me or whatever. I can give you guys my email. It's lfreeman at Davex Labs. And like I said, I'm very dedicated to this industry, and I have a response within 24 hours, 24 minutes, or 24 seconds.
Wow.
Boom.
I like that.
Look at that. And Leah's Leah.
It is. It's LeahFreeman 1, or like I said, L Freeman at Davex Labs. Perfect. Or Leah Freeman on Facebook.
Dude. Thank you so much. I can't believe that it took this long to do this, but
it didn't need to take this long, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think the universe said it so, right?
Yeah, I got to sit with all these beautiful people in this room, which no one gets to see, but it's awesome that all of you have sat here this whole time and got to see me cry and give me a Kleenex box and see that I am sensitive.
How soft you are.
Don't tell anybody I'm sensitive.
No. we don't have to.
I know, right? You're like, no. I'm like, the public will know now. So.
I don't know. Leah, again, thank you. Really, from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, thank you.
We're such big fans of you and of what you're up to. And
I'm fans of your guys'. So, and we'll make sure that we meet again.
We absolutely.
Shall. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, Miss Leah Freeman, thank you very, very much for joining us on your day off. Hey, so there it is. Hey, this is a message that we've been trying to bring, I don't know, for the last couple of months, actually since we started the podcast. Hey, so if you like the podcast or if you find that it's useful, please leave us a review, a 5-star review on iTunes. Leave us a rating and a review. But if you don't like it, forget about it. Yeah, totally forget about this message. We also want to thank Sarah and Blaine from Pretty Gritty. Sarah and Blaine, they are a band out of Portland, Oregon, and we just want to thank them very much for allowing us to use their song, Pleased to Meet You, on our podcast. That's cool. I think you can find, you can find their music on iTunes.
Peace and hair grease.